How's it going, guys? I'm Strange Possum, and today's revision video is for digital devices in the Edexcel GCSE ICT course. As with all my revision videos, there will be pauses to enable note taking. I recommend that you watch the whole video through twice so that you understand fully. For the exam, you need to know a range of information about what digital devices are, who uses them, and for what purpose. I'm going to try and cover the essentials in this video. Digital devices. Digital devices are a large aspect of our daily lives. The focus in the exam is on how digital devices affect everyday life. Digital devices facilitate communication from anywhere and at any time of the day. For example, text messages, social networks, and email are all examples of communication that is made possible by digital devices. You need to understand how digital devices affect people in their personal lives, when they are at work, and when they travel. Different audiences have different uses for their digital devices. For example, teenagers tend to use social networks and play games, while older people tend to be more interested in email and work applications. When choosing a digital device, the person purchasing the device will have needs, features that the device must have, and wants, features that would be nice but aren't essential. Here's an example for someone who is looking to buy a tablet. There are different factors to consider when you are purchasing a new digital device. For example, cost, convenience, size and weight, and storage. Common features. There are common features across all digital devices. The processor controls all functions in the device. Processor speed is usually measured in gigahertz. The higher the processor's speed, the faster the device will operate. The memory, or RAM, stores temporary information that the device needs to operate. There is also a small amount of internal storage in most devices to store the code that the device needs to operate. Hard drives are a form of permanent memory, which are normally used in desktop computers and laptops. They rarely feature in portable devices because their moving parts are easily damaged. Flash memory is additional space that is added to a digital device, like a USB memory stick or an SD card. Storage space and memory are both measured in bytes. Bytes are the smallest units, followed by kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, and finally terabytes. More memory equals more storage space. Peripherals. A peripheral is an additional device that can be added to another digital device. Headphones are an example of a peripheral device, but a charger is not a peripheral device. There are three types of peripheral devices: input devices, output devices, and storage devices. Input devices allow users to input information into the device, or give the device instructions. The mouse and keyboard are both examples of input devices. Output devices allow digital devices to present information to the user. Screens, headphones, and printers are all examples of output devices. Mobile phones. Mobile phones are the most widely used digital device. They are multifunctional and have additional features beyond making and receiving phone calls. For example, most mobile phones can browse the internet, be used to listen to music and watch videos, and be used as a camera. Modern phones' abilities can even be extended using apps. Mobile phones and the data stored on them needs to be kept safe. Phones should be hidden when not in use to prevent theft. A PIN, password or biometric lock should be set, and the IMEI number should be written down elsewhere so that the mobile provider can block the phone if it is stolen. Personal computers. In the exam, you might be asked to describe how a personal computer meets the needs of a scenario, based on its weight, functionality and cost. There are 4 different types of personal computers: desktops, laptops, netbooks and tablets. The most important factors to consider when comparing personal computers are processor speed, RAM, storage, USB ports, battery life, connectivity, and their sound and graphics abilities. There are health risks associated with using personal computers. Eye strain, repetitive strain injury, and neck and back problems are all linked with computer overuse. Cameras and camcorders. Modern cameras allow users to zoom in, take photos and videos, download to a computer, view files on a TV, store on SD cards, and have built-in LCD screens to view stored pictures and videos. Digital zoom enlarges part of the existing image, which can cause blurriness, while optical zoom moves the actual lens closer. An exam question would give you a scenario and ask for 2 features that would be useful for that scenario, so make sure that you are familiar with features offered by modern cameras and camcorders. Media players. Media players are digital devices that can play music and videos. Key features include size, memory, and battery life. Common file types supported by a modern media player are MP3 and WMA for audio files, GIF, JPEG and PNG for images, and MPEG for video. Digital rights management, or DRM, is a system which prevents some files on a media player being copied to other devices. This is done to prevent copyrighted content from illegal redistribution. Modern media players can play files as they are being downloaded. This is called streaming. The file is sent in a compressed form over the internet and displayed to the user in real time as it is being downloaded. This has advantages and disadvantages. For example, it saves time as users don't have to wait while the video is being downloaded, but it can also be a disadvantage because users with a slower connection will experience buffering. Game consoles. Modern game consoles are simply computers that have been locked down so that they can only play games. Just like any other computer, they are multifunction devices, which allow the user to do things such as browse the internet or listen to music. There are hundreds of peripheral devices available for gaming consoles, such as controllers, headsets, and motion sensors. The health risks for consoles are similar to those for personal computers. Satellite navigation. Sat-navs use the Global Positioning System, or GPS, to plan driving routes and give directions. Sat-navs are multifunction devices. Some can display the user's speed or warn about upcoming speed cameras. Sat-navs can be a risk while driving because they can distract the driver or block their view of the road. They do, however, help to reduce the risk of an accident by speaking the directions to the driver and displaying the road ahead on their screen. Convergence. Convergence is the ability of one digital device to take on the role of another. When a mobile phone is used for navigation, this is convergence. The use of GPS on mobile phones is causing the sale of sat-navs to fall. Advantages of using smartphones as sat-navs is that you are more likely to be carrying your phone with you, and your phone is often more portable than a bulky sat-nav. However, the use of GPS will drain your phone's battery. Use of digital devices in a business. Digital devices are used in organisations to help improve how they communicate and operate. For the exam, you need to think about how these devices change the way a business operates. For example, the introduction of email compared to sending a written memo. And that's all the essential information for digital devices. I hope you found this resource useful for your revision. Thanks for supporting this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.